Chosen one, listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Because right now, in the places nobody sees, the Spirit is conducting a candle test over your life. There is a fire moving through the corridors of your soul, and heaven is watching to see if you will flicker or burn. Now let me show you what's really happening. This isn't about whether you can light a match in the easy places. Anyone can ignite when the room is filled with praise and applause, when the sun is shining and the money's good and the calls are coming in. No, this is about those silent stretches, midnights and closed doors, the ticking of the phone that doesn't ring, the job that evaporated without warning, whispers of lack circling your thoughts at all hours. The real test comes when the world turns down the lights and every voice tells you to fold. Let me take you into that place, the 3 a.m. when darkness weighs heavy on your chest. Not just restlessness, but a physical ache, the kind that sits behind your eyes, that pulses between your temples, makes your whole body hum low with anxiety. You toss and turn, tangled in sheets that don't comfort, with sweat cooling on your neck, jaw clamped so tight there are sparks behind your teeth. You reach for your phone out of habit, scrolling to distract yourself, but every post just sharpens the loneliness. Every image a reminder of what you're missing. Every like and comment feeling like salt on a bruise nobody else can see. You try to pray, but the words stick short, tumbling over one another, more a mumble than a shout. You get up, pad around the kitchen, opening and shutting cabinets you've already checked. You check your bank app again, hoping maybe a miracle landed in your account, some mysterious deposit. Nothing changes. The hour lingers. You try sitting in the dark with your heartbeat echoing in your ears. Right now, right at that hour, that's where the real test is happening. Let me show you exactly what that test asks. It asks whether you will keep your tiny wick burning when the room has gone cold. It asks whether you will carry heat when the world delivers chill. It asks if you dare to believe when evidence is stacked against you. When the rent is due, the contract fell through, the inbox is dry, and every answer you thought you had dissolves in your hands. The fire is not about a show of flames, it is in the embers that refuse to go out. The world tests you by subtracting, by draining what little you have, by whispering it would be easier to give up, to blend in, to play it safe. You try to distract yourself, to manufacture comfort, but every attempt, Netflix, snacks, scrolling, even reaching for advice from friends, leaves you emptier. Because what you need isn't out there, it's in the core of you. Let me break this down for you, because right now there are two kinds of people. Those who only burn when they're surrounded by fireworks, and those who carry fire in hidden clay, who blaze in places nobody else sees. And the candle test is not a one-time ordeal. It repeats, it cycles, it checks you over and over. Every unanswered call, every overlooked opportunity, every relationship that goes sideways is another chance to testify with your flame instead of your words. Right now, even as you sit in what feels like waiting, you are not on pause. You're in the refining. Heaven does not set aside those who flicker. They just get recycled back into the same test until only the flamethrowers remain. Let me take you deeper, because this is not a poetic idea. This is a real examination playing out right now in your daily moments. There are people in your life watching to see if your fire will go out. Some want to see you snuffed out. Make no mistake about that. They see you walking through difficulty and whisper, "Let's see how long they last." Others just don't have the patience to believe with you, so they pull back. Suddenly the texts stop coming, the invitations dry up, and your tribe gets thin right when you thought you needed support the most. It presses you in, makes your doubts louder. And yet this is the moment the Spirit is watching for. What kind of heat will you carry when the weather shifts? Will you allow your environment to dictate your temperature? Or will you be the one whose presence changes the very atmosphere? Let me explain what happens when you pass the candle test. There's a difference in the way heaven invests in those who stay lit. Doors start opening, for you but not for everyone. Some contracts come through out of nowhere, not because you hustled harder, but because there was a fire in you that attracted favor. The same lenders who denied you before changed their minds. The same doctor who gave you no hope calls back with new results. Not just one victory, but breakthroughs start lining up. What looked like coincidence is really confirmation. Your endurance, your willingness to stand in heat has unlocked something that cannot be copied or stolen. Your light lasts, your oil multiplies, the practicals shift. Suddenly invoices get paid, resources appear, you get upgraded when everyone else is getting cut. You look back and realize the blessing wasn't just about surviving the night, but about being promoted as proof to the ones who watched you during the test. Let me tell you, people who carry fire become contagious. Wherever you go, conversations shift. You show up and the atmosphere bends. People who said no start to say maybe, then yes. Problems that stalked you for years start breaking off, and others start asking for your advice, for your touch, for your insight. It's not just charisma, it's spiritual fire. Suddenly you realize you're drawing others out of their own darkness, not by what you say, but by the glow you cannot hide. And people who tried to sabotage you, they start to avoid you, blocked by a wall of heat they can't cross. Your presence becomes a warning to those operating in low places. They can't stand the fire, so they scatter. Let me remind you, being a carrier of fire means endurance in suffering, but it also means access. The dreams you thought had expired, the candle test reignites them. God didn't let them die. He hid them until you had a fire that couldn't be extinguished by circumstance. Now you're burning with vision again. New strategies, creative solutions, quick recoveries in body and mind. Relationships that went silent. Some are restored, but the ones that stay away leave room for unmovable connections that run deeper, forged in trial rather than convenience. You'll see invitations come that don't make sense on paper. Doors to platforms, rooms you never thought you'd enter. Not just talk, but impact. People moved, lives changed because you carried fire in the midnight hour. Let me tell you what to do with this word. Do not despise the private battles, and do not mistake silence for being overlooked. God's eyes are on the candle, not the crowd. You may feel like your wick is down to the last smolder, but it is enough. You are not passed over. You are passed through the flame so that only the pure fire remains. You will not be snuffed out. You will not flicker until you fade. You are being seen, chosen, tested, and marked by what you carry in the dark, not just what you show in the light. Now let me declare it over you. Overnight, suddenly, right now, your light will not go out. You will pass every test and the evidence will overflow. They waited for your flame to fail, but heaven fueled your fire. They wanted silence, but your testimony became a beacon. They left you lonely, but God filled the void with divine companionship. They orchestrated losses, but you encountered unstoppable gain. They thought you would collapse in the midnight, but you woke up burning in the morning. Your doors will open when others tighten shut. Your influence will multiply while their agendas shrink away. What was meant to extinguish you became the very fuel for your flame. The test was passed, the fire is burning, and there is no going back. Chosen, trusted, sponsored by heaven, burning brighter right now, overnight now. Chosen one, let me take you further. You think it's over because the night ended, but the moment of reversal has only started to unfold. The ones who marked your fire for dead, who watched and waited to sweep up your ashes, are now witnessing a reversal they cannot control. They had the upper hand for a season, don't deny it. You saw them make their calls, shape the narrative, strip opportunities from your hands with a single word behind the scenes. They knew someone at the company, a friend at the bank, a name in the decision room. They used it. Your inbox stayed empty because of backroom deals you never got to challenge. Clients changed direction with no warning. Even the family members you thought would back you up suddenly grew quiet when you needed their voice most. Let me show you. They bet everything that the pressure would crush your resolve. That if they just turned up the chill a little more, your flame would finally gutter and fail. But right now, something's shifting beneath their feet. Heaven has not just seen the test, it has weighed the motives behind it. Let me break this down for you. Every trap they set sent up a signal to heaven. Every contract they blocked became a marker in the record. It looked like silence, but it wasn't silence. It was setup. It was stacking kindling around your life for a fire you couldn't have started on your own. They thought they were canceling your future. They were piling up proof for your vindication. And now, in this season, the reversal is rolling through. Suddenly, people who ignored you want a seat at your table. The companies that closed their doors are sending fresh invitations, but you carry discernment now. You're not so quick to jump because you know who you're dealing with. Accusations that haunted you, that rumor that clung to your name in the workplace, the lie that made people question your integrity. Right now, those same voices are being forced to retract. One by one, their narratives get dismantled. Evidence comes to light. A conversation overheard, a document surfaces, a private meeting is exposed for what it was. Your reputation, stained by shadows, gets laundered in the open, and those who whispered now have to watch your restoration. It's a painful thing for those who were rooting for your downfall. It's undeniable. It's public. And let me explain what that does inside you. When the reversal starts, it leaves you both trembling and grateful, not with bitterness, but with clarity. The vindication doesn't puff you up, it roots you deeper. You see, God was always watching. You see, He did not let a single tear hit the ground without marking it for return. You understand why things took so long. You see why God hid your gift, why He shielded your name from rooms you weren't ready to stand in. Those delays that almost broke you were actually deliverance from traps that would have destroyed you. It all turns, not overnight as a dream, but overnight as reality that leaves you awake, sober, ready. Let me tell you what happens next. Vindication is not just an end, it is a commission. Heaven does not restore you just so you can sit in comfort. Right now, you are being given authority, weight, presence in the room, influence that leaves an imprint. The very places you walked through as a reject, you now walk as a voice that matters. People take notes when you speak. Clients who once haggled your worth pay your price and tell others to do the same. Former critics become silent listeners. Some even come for your counsel, swallowing pride to ask, "How did you last?" They want the method, but you know it's not a formula. It's the fire you carried, the faith that didn't wash away in the storm. You're not here because of your network, your charm, your credentials. It is something deeper, marked in the midnight, certified by survival, stamped by Gethsemane. Here's what you need to understand. The commission looks like access, but it feels like responsibility. The tests aren't just about you anymore. Suddenly you see desperate people everywhere, at the grocery store, in your inbox, sitting across the meeting table. You sense the panic sliding beneath their polished answers. Someone brings their resume for your review, but you see the bruises from their own candle test. Your story, your scars now become tools. You are called to testimony, not just triumph. Doors open not just into blessing, but into battlegrounds to liberate others. You step into the same rooms where you once begged for entry, but your posture is transformed. You walk in not as a survivor, but as a source. Let me show you how heaven operates with those who carried the fire and passed the test. Divine acceleration. Opportunities stack where once you struggled for a single breakthrough. Embarrassment is replaced with preparation. All the time lost comes back with compounded interest. You put pen to paper. Suddenly it turns into contracts. You launch a tiny project. Suddenly it spreads beyond your network, catching the attention of people in cities you've never visited. Recommendations come from strangers. Provision arrives before you even ask. Not excess, but enough for now. Then overflow for others. You start to give spontaneously and notice every time you pour out, more comes in. You fund ideas that once looked like fantasy. You sponsor the next chosen ones struggling through their own 3 a.m. panic. What broke you yesterday becomes the wisdom you hand out freely. You're being trusted with more than you asked for. But let me make this clear. With every new door, you see the refuse of old battles scattered at your feet. The commission is not platform for platform's sake. This is a mantle. You are called to be a light in the waiting room, a warmth in the coldest meeting, a word of life when someone else is tasting bitterness. The promotions, the public stages, the expansion, they aren't for show. They're for freedom missions. Every step forward is laced with purpose, and you feel it in your bones. There's no going back to mediocrity. There's no shrinking when you carry this fire. Let me break it down one last time. The pain made you precise. The heartbreak made you holy. The loss made you wise. You have become someone who knows when to speak and when to wait. You discern motives. You're not thrown by minor storms. When doubt comes, and it will, you burn straight through it because the fire is internal now, not circumstantial. You will occasionally be tested again, as all fire bearers are, but you are never back at square one. The victories pile higher than the defeats. The oil multiplies, the opportunities repeat, the favor follows as a shadow. You recognize the patterns. When resistance shows up, you know increase is just out of sight. Now let me prophesy over you with finality. This reversal will not be stopped. No contract can bar you. No rumor can break you. No old relationship can block you. Those who tried to contain you find the fences emptied. Those who tried to curse you find their own words ricocheting back. Your name, once dragged through the mud, is being aired out in sun and honor. The offers you've been waiting for are lining up where you least expect. Letters in the mail, emails at dawn, calls from people who swore they'd forgotten you. Doors flung wide while others are sealed shut for your enemies. Those who harmed you without repentance and change find their hands can't hold a candle to the heat now resting on you. You are not just being restored, you are being established. A new standard is rising in your bloodline because you did not extinguish in the trial. Your ceiling is now the launch pad for others to rise. Your light a signal fire for weary travelers looking for evidence that survival is possible, that turnaround is coming. It is not just about you. Your fire signals that the age of smallness is over. The era of endurance for endurance's sake gives way to impact, multiplication, legacy. Where there was only flicker, there is now wildfire, controlled, holy, world-changing. Now as I close, hear this decree sealed by heaven's authority. You were turned away, but now you are embraced. Written off, but now sought out. Scattered, but now gathered. Silenced, but now heard. Overlooked, but now chosen as a pillar. They wanted smoke, but you brought fire. They expected your shame. Instead, you clothed yourself in strength. They hoped you'd end it empty, but you overflow. They set limits, but you outgrew every boundary. They declared your story finished, but you stepped into a new chapter. The commission is active. The fire is ever burning. The oil will not run out. Promises are fulfilled. All debts canceled. All chains shattered. All reversals completed, and what once tested you now testifies for you. As you walk forward, commissioned and crowned, candles trembling in other hands, you will be recognized as the one who carried the fire, now suddenly, overnight and forever. Chosen one, let me tell you truly, this is the place where most turn back. Not in the drought, not at the bottom, not with their face pressed to the cold earth. No, the real test comes in the turning, when vindication begins to rise and your old sorrow and your new commissioning stand side by side. It's when the clouds start to part and the world suddenly remembers your number. The silence breaks, but it may not sound like music at first. There is awkwardness in your restoration, a strange prickling at every compliment, a wary eye watching each promise after so much disappointment. You almost don't trust the blessing at your doorstep. Too many times you swept the threshold empty, hoping for the knock that never came. But let me show you. This is the reversal, not a mirage. This is not just a second chance. This is the very ground shifting beneath the feet of those who called you finished. You will see them, those who once shrugged off your vision, appear in the crowd with cautious applause. They show up at the edge of your gatherings, lurking at the back of the room or hiding behind half-hearted messages, pretending their absence never occurred. The very ones who dropped your name in rooms of slander now stutter and search for words in your presence. Grace meets them, but you do not hand them the keys they tried to steal. There is a line now. Even mercy, even forgiveness does not always come with access. Let me break it down. Vindication is never delivered as a tool for vengeance, but as clear evidence of divine justice. What you lost is restored, yet you do not return to who you were before. The cost you paid has changed the way you walk. Every step is measured. You move with a patience that can wait out the fakes and endure the long haul. You learned in hunger not to grab at the first piece of bread. You know now how to discern between a real welcome and a hollow crowd. Right now you carry a fragrance that draws the sincere and repels the pretenders. It cannot be faked, and it cannot be purchased. This is the new oil. People who have suffered can smell it on you. The desperate, the discarded, the ones nursing their own loss in the shadows. They find you. You'll catch them glancing at you when you speak, hungry for any hint that what happened for you could happen for them. Some will come with words, others with silence. But all are searching for proof that fire can survive a midnight storm. And heaven will give you wisdom to know how to answer. Sometimes you pour out freely, telling how you held on with nothing but grit and a whisper of hope. Other times you offer only your steady presence, your unshakable calm, your refusal to panic when everyone else is spiraling. Do not underestimate what your survival teaches. Let me show you. Your commission is not built only on what you gained, but on what you rebuilt with shaking hands, on what you refused to quit when quitting seemed logical and mercy looked delayed. Watch what happens to your enemies as this arc unfolds. Some who cheered your embarrassment will vanish from your story. The fire burns them away, not with hate, but with heat they cannot handle. Others will approach with attempts to reconcile. Some genuine, others desperate to realign themselves with your glow for their own profit. You do not gloat. You remember the taste of loneliness too well. You measure your words because you know the cost of careless ones. Vindication is confirmed when you can stand among those who harmed you without needing to wound them. The reversal is complete when you realize you are no longer living to prove anyone wrong. You are living to honor God's rightness, to light a path for others who have nothing left but a stub of a candle. Let me show you the rooms that are opening now. Contracts arrive that once evaporated with a single email. The land that was never for sale. Someone offers it to you privately, quietly. The offer comes with no negotiation, full asking price met. You find resources in pockets you forgot, old investments yielding new returns, inheritances you didn't know were being written with your name. A friend reaches out from a decade ago, apologizing for failing you, opening a door where you are not just included, you are needed. The invitations don't stop. Conferences, platforms, tables of decision. But listen, you are not dazzled this time. The applause doesn't thrill you the way it used to. You see the need, not the shine. The ones asking for your time are not always the ones who value your integrity. Now you belong to heaven's agenda, not man's calendar. You carry a sense of holy caution, not paranoia, but clarity. You speak when there's a word. You listen when there's a lesson. You know when to bless and when to simply walk away, protecting your portion instead of giving it to those who spent years trying to empty your cup. This is the age of overflow. You move from room to room and notice that where you used to beg for permission, now you are being given keys. You spot the hungry ones, the unseen, the nearly broken. Your compassion is not mere sentiment, it's an assignment. You raise up new leaders, sow into those who will never be able to pay you back, encourage those who have never heard their name spoken in hope. You fund the dreams that look like madness to others. The very resources you once lacked are in surplus, but you handle them with gratitude, not arrogance. Generosity keeps the fire burning. Every blessing spent wisely becomes a torch for someone else in the night. You know now, what you give away returns multiplied. Sometimes tomorrow, sometimes years down the line, but it always returns. The public favor catches up to your private strength. Old adversaries can't undo your name. Your family, fractured by years of strain, begins to see healing. Children who watched you wrestle in the dark now learn from your endurance. Spouses who doubted your vision see the evidence and begin to trust again. Parents who worried you'd never recover look you in the eye and finally understand. This wasn't just survival, it was preparation. Your story becomes a legacy, your persistence a foundation for those coming after you. Not just lineage, but a spiritual bloodline, traits of perseverance, humility, generosity, and a love that will not quit. You start to see that what once grieved you made room for a testimony that cannot be dismantled. Let me show you this truth. Those who are truly restored do not return with empty hands. They come back carrying something for others. You don't need little affirmations from those who once rejected you. Affirmation now comes from what flows through you. The way your words cut through anxiety. The way your presence calms those at the edge. You recognize in faces around you the same hunger you carried for years. You see yourself in them. Your empathy is deep, but your wisdom is firm. You offer guidance in due season. Where you once fought for scraps, now you offer bread. Where you once wandered in famine, now you plant in season and out. Scarcity has no place in your house. The reversal is so profound it leaves onlookers silent, some in awe, some in envy, but all admitting this was not the work of man. Here is the closing decree, the echo of heaven over your life. You arose from dust and now walk as a builder. They counted you out, but you became essential. They locked you out, but you hold master keys. They cursed your name, God established your repute. They prayed for your stillness, but he gave you momentum. For every no that crushed you, a yes bursts open. For every closed heart faced, new bonds are being constructed. For every lack, an abundance. For every smear, a shining. All that was meant for your collapse has been forced to become your foundation. You have been vindicated, recommissioned, and empowered. The reversal is irreversible. The losses are paid with interest. The fire does not dim, it blazes. The world watches, but heaven backs you. What you carry cannot be taken, traded, or stolen. It is trademarked by the midnight hour. You are sent. You are trusted. You are seen. You are called. You are equipped. You are the candle that wouldn't run out, the lampstand that could not be moved. In this season, in this hour, in this very breath, the arc is complete, and your flame is a beacon, right now, suddenly, overnight, and on into history. Chosen one, there is more. So much more than even you dared hope. You thought the turning was the end of your story. That vindication would simply set things back as they once were. But heaven's justice does not work in halves and heals nothing halfway. Let me show you what is happening now, in this aftermath, as the arc stretches wider than you ever prayed for. The world is watching, some with uncertainty, others with their teeth set against your rise, but none can deny what is unfolding. Not one can explain how you stood while others fell, how doors blew open just when everyone expected lights out and silence. They wanted to tell a story of your failure, but all their narratives, all their calculations are shattered by the undeniable evidence of how God has established you, stubbornly, defiantly, publicly. Right here is where the meaning of reversal reaches full bloom. You begin to sense the holy bewilderment of those witnessing your return. Enemies, former friends, even neutral bystanders. Now they struggle to reconcile the you they tried to define and the one rising in plain sight. Let me paint the moment for you. They see you step onto a stage they never mentioned your name in. They hear your voice breaking through over airwaves in boardrooms and living rooms, when they swore all your doors were sealed for good. Reports filter back to them, your business landing contracts, your work cited in high places, old friends whispering, "Did you see what's happening?" The ones who orchestrated your losses are disturbed in their sleep, haunted by dreams where your face won't fade, troubled by memories of the calls they made to strike your name from the list, the way they left you outside, exposed to the elements, certain you'd wither and vanish. But instead, right now, overnight as you hear these words, it is their plans unraveling, not yours. Calls they rely on go unanswered. The favor they took for granted grows cold. Deals they managed with ease slip through their fingers. Others begin to hesitate before saying yes to them. Reputations they built on exclusion and alliance now rest on shaky ground. You find yourself in meetings where your presence is requested and theirs is questioned. They wanted to end your story, but they marked the moment when your true legacy was set into motion. Let me show you the beauty and gravity of vindication when it comes by God's own hand. It is not only an answer to your private groaning or your silent, desperate prayers at 3 a.m. It is the setting of a new order. Every season of lack is compensated, not merely replaced, but multiplied. Where you wept, laughter now finds you. Where you buried your head so others wouldn't see your trembling, you are now lifted, face uncovered, nothing left to hide. Reports come in, testimonies, opportunities, reconciliations. The family member who turned their back in bitterness now seeks out your wisdom. The old mentor who dismissed you suddenly needs your perspective. You walk streets where you were once a ghost and people wave, make time, greet you by name. And there is always the urge to look over your shoulder to ask, is this really for me? But yes, it is for you. Not because you maneuvered or manipulated, but because you survived every dark hour without cursing your future or burning your own bridge out of spite. Let me take you into the commission. Vindication does not leave you idle or lounging in consolation prizes. It hands you the torch, the mantle, the open door to move as a leader for those yet unseen. The fire you carry is not just a badge of proof, it is a living force, a calling that compels you to build where others destroyed, to restore what was stripped away, to return dignity to rooms where shame held a throne. Your words weigh more now, and you can sense the responsibility. You do not speak to impress or posture. You pause before you answer. You hold back the easy retort because at last you understand. You are speaking on behalf of others who have yet to taste reversal, who still weep in the midnight and question if it's worth it. You are commissioned to the ones still in hiding, those who tremble at the edge of every room, who sit in their cars rehearsing what they'll say, then drive off without entering. You are sent to the discouraged, the undermined, the misunderstood, the passed over. The new season is not about your comfort, but about igniting courage, about making space so others can breathe, so others can dare to hope again. God is trusting you to steward blessing without hoarding, favor without partiality, opportunity without compromise. You invest in others not to receive applause, but because you remember what it cost you to walk alone. You defend the defamed. You hire the outsider. You invite the shy, and heaven's oil begins to flow through every act of mercy. See now how influence becomes holy stewardship. It's the power to forgive debts without tally or calculation. The power to squash rumors with a word of truth. The power to grant platforms you yourself never had, not because you're threatened, but because you have become unthreatenable. When you see someone trembling, you draw them up instead of skating past. When you hear of lack, you give in secret. Someone's groceries, another's overdue bill, a quiet blessing that becomes someone's proof that God sees. No vanity, no parade, just the peace that comes from having become tried and trustworthy. Let me show you the secret behind every commission. The world may promote, but only God ordains. Your doors are opening at a pace that confounds logic. Others scramble, you step gently. Investors appear who quietly believe in your vision. Creative ideas come thick and fast, and every single one lands with fruitfulness. No effort wasted, no door locked if heaven wants it open. You do not ration your kindness. You move with a rhythm of abundance, never recklessness. There is always enough because now you recognize that you are just a channel, not the source. Things flow to you and through you, and nothing dammed up ever stinks or spoils. Let me take you one last time to the heart of vindication, your inner calm where anxiety once ruled. Sleepless nights have been replaced with deep rest, not because troubles will never knock again, but because you now trust the keeper of the flame. When tests return, and they always do, you meet them with seasoned authority. Panic does not grip you. Instead, you've learned the timetable of heaven. You trust the slow work, you trust the harvest. When loss comes, you grieve but do not sink. When doors close, you pause and wait without flailing. You can wait in the empty room because you know the room was never the prize. Your identity was. You have become stable, steady, unwavering. You are no longer defined by applause or popularity. You are defined by the fire that has survived everything the night could throw against it. Chosen one. This is your decree, written in fire and sealed by endurance. You were minimized, but now you are magnified. You were set aside, but now you are centerpiece. They hoped to muzzle you, but now your sound shakes rooms. They predicted lack, but you host abundance. They celebrated your drought, but you became someone's rain. Where you were kept out, now your shadow fills every entryway. Where chains once held, now influence multiplies. What was made to bury you has forced your roots so deep that storms only make you rise stronger. They wanted to curse your memory, but generations will recall your name as builder, restorer, pioneer. Every reversal will stick, every loss will yield fruit, every shame is recycled into legacy. The commission holds, the flame never dims. You walk ahead equipped, established, unshakable, each step marked by justice, each door opened by mercy. You go from one level to the next, never circling back, always forward into glory. It is done. Vindication overtakes you, the arc completes, and you are seen, celebrated, commissioned, and crowned, not just for a moment, but for the ages, right now, suddenly, overnight, and on into every promise God ever prepared.